Climate change is like a multi-fueled fire. Factories, cars, farming, livestock, deforestation, construction, overconsumption, you name it, and there is some way humans are disrupting Earth's balanced ecosystems. The thing with fire is you can snuff the oxygen or water the burning wood. At their source, at their flame, fires can be put out. What humans have been doing for the past centuries is cleaning away the smoke. These factors are fueling climate change increasingly, and we deal with them by moving ocean trash to landfills or ignoring concerning data. The science has proven that these are the sources of our planet's sickness, and logical problem solving has proven how to take the necessary steps. The only issue is that we are humans. We cannot simply end transportation pollution or manufacturing toxins. We can't just make overheated coral reefs come back to life. Dealing with climate change comes down to 1. The prioritization of other issues, 2. People's willingness for change, and 3. Money. Each of these have their own worlds to dive into, but on a larger scale, the institution with the greatest ability to make real change is our government. I might walk to school and only use reusables, but what does that matter when 34 billion tons of carbon dioxide are emitted from fossil fuels per year? This image from the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency shows us the percentages of emissions from source categories. One person has no power over the entire transportation or electric power industries, but the government does. According to American Public University, environmental law is a collective term encompassing aspects of law that focus on protecting the natural environment, human health, and natural resources. These aspects of law include regulations and policies which are applied to specific needs such as air quality, water pollution, greenhouse gas emissions, and plastic waste. The levels that policies are enacted vary from federal to state to local levels. The federal government, in short, has the power of taxes, coining money, establishing post offices, roads, federal courts, armies, and a navy, declaring war, punishing crime, and making rules for the regulation of land. The federal government therefore can enforce certain environmental legislation and regulations, as well as give states environmental improvement grants. The Environmental Protection Agency has been taking action such as the Clean Air and Water Acts of the 1900s and the Endangered Species Act. However, the federal government is extremely limited. Legislation must pass through extensive processes to even be considered, and with the economic and political interests of the two-party system, much might be filtered away by the time it is enacted. Then comes the issue of prioritization. Columbia Climate School notes how climate is not seen by most people as a top political issue, and that poll data such as this Pew Research example measure citizens' surface-level opinions, such as the price of groceries or a spike in crime, but not people's fundamental values and beliefs. William and Mary Law School also notes how environmental protection laws have often failed because 1. Their goal is to protect and benefit humans, not the environment in which humans live. 2. They assume human superiority and exceptionalism to nature and natural processes. 3. They are based on the notion that humans are separate from nature. And 4. They presume that humans are not ultimately limited by planetary boundaries because they are somehow superior and insulated from nature. Overall, this leads to rational, self-interested economic person motivated by negative laws which tell humans what not to do, and in turn keep citizens farther away from environmental issues altogether. Another difficulty is working with international industries, such as the international supply chain of agriculture. According to BiomedCentral.com, the approaches taken by government to agricultural production are shaped by ideas of economic development, economic interest, the prescriptions and requirements of international agencies such as the World Bank and the International Monetary Fund, local environmental conditions, legacies of national and subnational institutions, and more. With this in mind, the federal government has a difficult position in helping end climate change. Money and people are too complicated. Thus, for the most part, the environment is left up to the states. States have a narrower focus, and within local branches, a more homogeneous group of issues and peoples to find solutions for. Thus, states can do much more with regulating specific agricultural industries, funding projects, giving people incentives to make greener decisions, and working with interest groups. For example, California's Clean Cars for All Act currently offers up to $12,000 to families that purchase and use electric vehicles instead of gas burners. Localized efforts across states can together combat the nation's overarching issue most effectively given the obstacles of money and politics. At the beginning of this video, I reasoned how one person's actions can't make change comparable to the government's power. Thus, in order to make changes yourself, you can become a part of the system of government. Join interest groups that work with politicians and fight for environmental causes. Write letters to your state's congressional representatives or other government officials. Donate money, volunteer, sign petitions, and join peaceful protests. In other words, use your voice. Thank you so much for watching and having an interest in this topic. We are humans and we have our issues, but we are also humans and adapt. We have the capacity to make change and we are already on the way there. So don't forget and don't stop fighting for this planet.